Welcome back. You're watching Ian King live from the heart of the city. If you want to know about the health of UK construction, who better to ask than those who supply the sector? The building materials industry has consolidated into a few global giants in recent years: Lafarge, Holcim, Cemex and Heidelberg. But a major British player has emerged since 2011 to take them on. It's Breedon Aggregates, whose executive chairman Peter Tom joins me now. Peter, we keep on hearing about patchy growth in UK construction, but you've just announced record profits.
Yeah, no, I think the very positive thing has been that there's a recognition that we've underinvested in the UK over many, many years under different governments. And, we've now got the National Infrastructure Commission that's going to spend 100 billion over the next 5 or 6 years improving the infrastructure. And what we're seeing, in a sense, a lot more work happening up in the Midlands, up in the north of England and things like that. Amazon have just announced construction of, I think, the biggest warehouse in Europe, which is in Colville, just down the road from our headquarters in Breedon. And so there's, I think sometimes some of the stats get changed later. So it was a little bit quiet in October, but house building is going extremely well. About 15% of our output goes into house building and the rest into infrastructure of one form or another. So, we've had meetings with analysts updating them this morning, and we're quite comfortable that there's 4 or 5% growth over the next few years.
Yeah, I mean, business people say they always want stability, they want predictability. I mean, you're quite content that there is going to be solid demand over the next few years, so.
I think so, and I think there's a recognition, as I say, from what I said earlier in terms of, and you see projects, like Crossrail, which has been a wonderful project. We're seeing, infrastructure expenditure going on. We've just been supplying work at Jaguar Land Rover in Solihull, and so there seems to be. And I think London was ahead of the game, and I think now that is spreading northwards. Scotland, we were very pleased because in Aberdeen we've just announced a few weeks ago the biggest contract we've ever won with joint venture partner White Mountain, 50 million for the Aberdeen Ring Road, which is great news. So, underlying, I think there'll be ups and downs, but we're pretty confident that over the next few years, infrastructure expenditure is going to grow.
Now, last November, you did your biggest ever deal to date, 330 million for Hope Construction, which was a business being divested by the merged Tarmac Lafarge. When do you get clearance from the competition authorities?
We are well on down the road in that process. We said in November that we thought that it would be clear at the end of June, early July, and we're very comfortable that we're on track for that. And we were anticipating that we'll probably have to sell off 15 or 20 ready-mix plants, which we're very happy with, and we're extremely excited about it.
But of course, it takes you into cement for the first time.
Yes, it does. We've obviously always been a big user of cement in a previous life. I was an importer of cement and things, so we have a reasonable understanding of the cement industry. The Hope cement mill is actually the biggest in the UK, and under its previous ownership of Lafarge was one of the best performing cement mills in the world.
And briefly, Peter, you're chairman of Leicester Tigers, going well in the Aviva Premiership, and the football club's not doing bad. What's in the water at Leicester at the moment?
Well, no, it's amazing, isn't it? And we have a great relationship with Leicester City, and no, it's wonderful for the city. They're top, we're third. We've got a home tie in the European quarter-finals against Stade Francais. So if you'd put a bet on at the beginning of the season, I think you might have been quite happy betting on the two sports teams in Leicester.
All right, well, we wish you well for the rest of the season. Peter Tom, thanks for joining me.